Hey guys, it's Pebbles. Thanks for watching Pebbles Eats Plants. My 40 Will Be Fab healthy weight loss eating challenge is only about 10 more weeks, so I thought I would make a video telling you about what I've been doing from December 2nd to June 2nd. I set a very specific set of rules about what things I eat and what things I don't eat, with the goal of weight loss. I turned 40 on June 5th, and that birthday weekend will definitely have some planned indulgences for sure. And then after that, I will switch my focus to learning how to maintain my weight and my sanity, hopefully, for the rest of my life. This plan that I created for myself is based on information from a variety of sources, primarily Dr. McDougall, Dr. Lyle, Dr. Greger. I was also really inspired by magician Penn Jillette's book, Presto. I'll talk a little bit more about some of the things specific to that book in a later video, but that was very inspiring to me. I also paid a lot of attention to my own habits, which foods I have trouble moderating or seem to be the beginning of downward spirals towards unhealthy eating. Okay, let's start with the things that I just don't eat right now. And then I'll talk about some of the specific exceptions and things around that. These are all things that I wrote down in advance, really specifically before that December 2nd start date. And I actually spent quite a bit of time developing them prior to that. So I'll just get right into that. For starters, no sugar or any other sweeteners, so no maple syrup, stevia, anything like that. Nothing to make anything sweeter. Fruit is okay. It's great, in fact. Blended fruit, dried fruit, juice are more of a rare thing, or in special circumstances. Same with dates, just because all of those tend to be more calorie dense, rather than they're not unhealthy. Some of the stuff that I've excluded, it's not because it's unhealthy, it's just because it doesn't meet my goals of weight loss, which is the main goal right now. No flour, so no pasta, no bread, no baked goods, no crackers, wraps, anything like that. A small amount of brown rice flour or starch or something to thicken a fat-free sauce is fine, but nothing that kind of falls into those other categories. No fat, so no nuts, seeds, olives, avocados, coconut, anything that is kind of and of course no oil. Anything that is an overt fat, even if it's a whole natural food, not something I eat right now. And again, that's strictly for my current short-term weight loss goals. I do have exception for some things for added flavor, so, and also that, you know, or serve a purpose without seeming to take away from weight loss or trigger, you know, wanting to eat lots more of it. So flax seeds for binding things, a little bit of sesame seed or oil to flavor, you know, Asian stir fries, powdered peanut butter in a recipe, some coconut milk in a recipe. Those things have been just fine for me. No alcohol. That is something that can really interfere with weight loss. The exception would be a vodka and soda or wine for a rare special occasion. For example, I had champagne on New Year's Eve, and that's fine. It's an option that I have available, but it does tend to slow or stop my weight loss, sometimes for up to a week or more, so I tend to keep that on the no list. To help me stick to these, I have an online wager going through an app called Stick and some other stuff that I've done. I'll do a separate video on some of the technology that I've used to help me with weight loss, but suffice to say, if I break my own rules, I'm gonna pay. Before I move on to examples of what I do eat, I wanted to talk about one other no that I have during my weight loss challenge, and that is no exercise. I know it sounds weird, but there is some evidence that exercise is more beneficial for improving mood and for cardiovascular health and some other definitely healthy things for the body, but it might not be for everyone the best choice for weight loss. I find for me, exercise makes me really hungry, and so I tend to eat more. It also seems to stop my willpower and motivation for healthy eating, and so during this challenge, the energy and time that and sometimes early mornings that I would have put into exercising in the past, I am focusing on making delicious, healthy food and napping. Sleep is very good for you and can help weight loss. It's also one of my favorite things to do. After my birthday, which is my goal, I plan to find forms of exercise that I do enjoy and love in order to get those cardiovascular benefits. I'm on my feet quite a bit for work and doing stuff around the house and at home. I do stretches. I just don't do any sort of formal exercise or go out of my way to work out during this time. So what do I eat? Potatoes, fruit, rice, beans, veggies, in endless combinations. On any given week, we almost always have tacos or some other type of Mexican food like enchiladas or nachos using baked tortilla chips, corn tortilla chips. So that's usually in there. Usually have something Italian like polenta and marinara. I like to have something Asian inspired, so like Thai curry or a stir fry, and usually something that's sort of classic comfort food as well, like mashed potatoes, gravy and corn, or a breakfast for dinner like tofu scramble hash with oil-free air-fried potatoes, something like that. Indian food's also a favorite, as well as sushi and ramen made with spiralized veggies instead of pasta noodles. Buffalo sauce flavored stuff and barbecue sauce stuff also makes it into the rotation pretty frequently. We currently get a farm share delivery, and so sometimes I have some odd veggies to include in things that I've had to try, kind of some new things that have been hit or miss in order to use up those veggies. But it's been an interesting experience. I have put my foot down when it comes to celeriac though. No more. Sometimes I add additional things to Mr. Pebble's meals, so bread or pasta or field roast sausage or something like that. But most of the time our meals are pretty similar. I'd say I probably eat more than he does though. But I do eat tofu and tempeh and edamame. I've started making some sauces out of cultured soy milk, and those seem to work well for me. I don't actually eat very much salad during this. I really love salad with lots of creamy dressing, and I wish my husband loves salad with plain vinegar, and I am kind of jealous of that. To me, a true salad that I love is ranch dressing, croutons, sunflower seeds, vegan bacon bits, avocado, olives, and then the veggies too, of course. But salads are kind of like a gateway drug for me, so it's been better to just mostly avoid salads during this weight loss time. I'm basically a starchivore and proud of it. I do get a wide variety of plant foods, and I'm confident that I'm getting the nutrients that I need. Kaiser Health group that's a medical insurance and doctor's office here in Portland and some other areas. They do have a healthy living program that was started by Dr. John McDougall's son, who's also a doctor, Craig McDougall, and that program continues. And so it is nice to have medical support for this way of eating and a doctor that supports eating healthily this way. So I'm all good there, got the doctor clearance. I don't really go to restaurants at the moment. I've gotten really good at packing or sneaking food with me wherever I go. Most restaurant food just has too much hidden oil and sugar and things like that. Lots of vegan restaurants in Portland, but it's hard to find a healthy one. Did have great breakfast at Mother's Bistro in Portland the day of the Women's March. I had oatmeal made with water, 2 bananas and some cinnamon. It's perfect, and side of fruit. There's also a great ramen place on the east side called Kaios, and they have vegan broth for ramen, and you can get spiralized noodles. So we've been there a few times, and that's been great. There's been restaurants that have closed, vegan restaurants that have closed, and new ones that have opened since I've been doing this, but there will still be options to eat vegan food at restaurants after my healthy eating challenge is done and for the rest of my life. So, my advice, based on my healthy eating weight loss challenge thus far, again, like I said, I only have 10 weeks left. I'm over halfway through, and I talked a little bit about some of my weight loss previously, but it's been going really well. I think I'm going to be really happy and satisfied with where I end up on my birthday and really be able to celebrate that and shift into maintenance. So my advice for someone else who maybe wants to try something similar would be to start with recommendations from experts that you respect and trust. You know, I named the ones that mean the most to me. You might have different ones, but start with experts that you can trust, not just companies that are trying to sell you things, but also your own experience, a supportive doctor, and knowing yourself as far as your own quirks and habits and things like that. But also, don't be afraid to try something a little bit hard. Plan to eat for weight loss for a set period of time rather than until you get to an arbitrary number. This has been really a cool mental shift for me. Instead of an endless treadmill of trying to get to a specific number, I set a deadline, and that is going to be when I'm done. I can, of course, always reassess after that at some point if I feel like my weight needs to go down a little bit more, but this project has a definite end, and that's been really helpful with the motivation. There's an end in sight. It's not just, I can never eat pasta ever again. It's just, for right now, this short period of time, this is what I don't eat. I recommend writing down your food values, goals, rules, and include exceptions and examples. Be as specific as you need to. Specific examples of things I do not eat are the fried tofu spring rolls with peanut sauce from New Seasons. That's one of the things I love. It's not the healthiest. I don't eat it right now. I will eat it in the future. Be really specific. Use technology as needed to help, and refer to those written values as often as needed, sometimes multiple times per day. If you're planning something, if you're planning to eat something, if you're going out, if you're going to a party, look at those things, review them, and kind of refresh them in your mind. Make it easy to eat delicious, healthy things. So figure out what you like and make it happen. It doesn't have to have a lot of variety. I do best if I have that rotation of Mexican, Italian, Asian, comfort, throwing in some other things here and there. And so those are things that if I get all of those flavors on a regular basis, it's pretty easy for me to stay on a plan. And so developing easy recipes within that work has been a big part of success. Other thing is be prepared to pay for convenience when necessary. Ore-Ida frozen steam and mashed potatoes and Wendy's baked potatoes are sort of expensive ways to buy potatoes, but they are a lifesaver in a pinch for having a healthy meal that I love, and I feel full and I feel satisfied. I don't feel like I've missed out on anything. And it's still cheaper than getting a veggie salad at Subway. So, you know, be prepared for those things. Have the stuff on hand all of the time. I always have the little microwave rice trays in my desk at work. So if I am suddenly starving in the afternoon, it doesn't need to be, oh, well, somebody made vegan brownies. It's, if you're hungry, eat your starch that goes along with your plan, and it's there and it's easy and it's available. So plan for those things. Trader Joe's has a lot of pre-prepped veggies. If you're not a veggie prepper, if you don't love cooking, there's lots of ways to get around that and to make it happen. If you need to buy a baked potato every day as part of your lunch, do it. So just figure out how to make that happen. Again, my advice is to do this for a short period of time. You know, create it as a budget that convenience to make it easy for you to eat delicious foods and you're not feeling miserable or hungry. Those two things are terrible. Don't be miserable, don't be hungry. The other advice that I have is to find people that you can talk about your healthy eating goals with, but understand that those people may not be your friends and family. I'll talk a little bit more. Again, this kind of falls into the technology aspect, but nobody wants to hear about what you're eating, what you're not eating, except for maybe your friends watching your YouTube channel about plant-based eating and weight loss. So, you know, find like-minded people online if necessary. There's meetup groups, there's all sorts of things on the internet. Maybe you have a friend who wants to do something like this with you as a buddy. It is really nice to have somebody to talk about ideas for things. If you're like, oh, I'm having a craving for this, what should I do? Maybe someone else has an idea of like, oh, well, I make this and that's kind of similar in these ways. So, and just giving you support when you need it, encouraging you, celebrating the wins, and all of those things. So those are my advice for creating a set time healthy eating challenge with weight loss as the main goal. And I hope something in this you will find useful, and I'm looking forward to giving kind of the final results and hurrah at my birthday when I turn 40, and we'll be celebrating that with a combination of healthy eating and not so healthy eating. I'm hoping to go on a trip for that weekend, and I'm already researching restaurants and exactly what things I'm going to eat there. So hopefully this was interesting or helpful to somebody. Leave me a comment, let me know. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.